when you're in this type of business, or really any business, you really need to come correct. What's going on, ladies and gents in Cyberland? Coming back to another educational video, and this time I'm going to be just talking really about just something I've noticed from my experiences, and just something that anybody, and you can apply this to any type of business you're in, and I'd like to just say come correct. So what that means to me is, in any profession, you give it 100%. Regardless of how you may be feeling about the job, regardless of what's going on in your personal life, regardless of things that you can't control, come correct, meaning come 100%, give it your all. Because at the end of the day, you're doing a job, or you've been tasked to do a job, and whoever you're working for doesn't want to know about everything outside of doing the job. Now, that can come off a little harsh because everybody's got issues and personal problems. However, the thing about that is once that stuff starts creeping into your job or your career or your business, that's when things can really go haywire. And especially if you're responsible for other people, if people are relying on you for you to do their job so they can continue to do their job, or you happen to own a company and you're responsible for these people's lives here. And we have seen, unfortunately, throughout the last couple decades of what has happened when you have people that aren't coming 100% correct, and the ramifications has caused thousands of employees at the end of the day, aka Enron, WorldCom, Washington Mutual. That's those things that I can recall in my lifetime so far that had some serious ripple effects that eventually caused the 2008 housing issue. So it's those things that are important. So I had a situation with a client where recently they were just having a bad day, and they were kind of venting to me about what was going on, and I just stayed quiet, listened to what they had to say, and then once they got out everything, I just asked them, do you feel better? And they actually said, yeah, I do. I said, and that was the point. Now, this is what we can do to move forward. And I gave them a bunch of options with how they were feeling. And honestly, this had nothing to really do with real estate. This was really something personal for them. But even though I'm a realtor, I'm still a human being. I still have feelings, and I still have emotions and stuff. And I wanted them to understand that I'm not just a realtor to you. I'm trying to be a friend and try to give advice if you're asking. And I gave them some options. I said, think over those options, and if you come up with anything, write it down and think over how's the best way to proceed before you make a decision, and make a decision based on what's logically the best course of action, not how you feel it should be. Because in reality, the world doesn't thrive on feelings or emotions. It thrives on what's right, what's wrong, checks and balances, black and white. You try to force things into outside of that, it's not really going to go in your favor, no matter what you may think or feel it should be. Now, things can happen, but so that was a situation I had. Another situation, and this is where I'm saying coming correct. You're coming to the job to not only do your job, but allowing your client to be able to rely on you wholeheartedly if they can. Now, some people will be like, well, I'm not being paid. I'm like, check that at the door, because it's not always just buying a home. There's a lot more stuff involved. There's a lot of emotions. It's a roller coaster for people. It's a lot of stuff that's involved with purchasing a home. It's not just, signing a bunch of paperwork and doing an inspection and an appraisal and making sure the loan is good to go. It's not always that simple. So you got to be the cheerleader. As I made another one of my videos, you have to be the cheerleader for them. You have to fight for them. You have to be understanding to what they're concerned about and not brush it off and just think, it's nothing to worry about. Now, sometimes I will say that, don't worry about it, we got you. But I say that in regards to don't worry about it, I got you, not don't worry about it. I reiterate to them that I understand how you're feeling and I got you. So don't worry about it. I'll get this resolved, or everything's going to be fine. Reassuring them, because again, for a lot of people, the biggest thing in their life is going to be purchasing a home. And for newlyweds, the biggest thing after that is going to be having a child. Those are some pretty significant changes one can do. Besides, buying a car, buying a home, it's a big thing. And raising a family is a big thing. So, and that client wasn't concerned about what I may have been feeling in regards to my own personal life. That's not what the discussion was about. It was about what was on their mind. And that's what I mean when I say come correct. However you're feeling or what's going on with you, check that shit at the door. Don't bring that to your client. Now, don't get me wrong. When everything's said and done, they have their home, they're now living their life, you can call them and ask them some advice. Because I've done with my clients where I ask them their own opinion, their advice about a situation that has nothing to do with real estate, because it's an entirely different situation now. The really important thing is done. Now it's just having a discussion about other things, because again, I like to talk to my clients about things that are not always real estate, whether it's movies or music or foods or just different things. And with that, it really makes a difference for your client when you genuinely, as I've said before, and when I say some of these things, it's going to be reiterations from other videos to some extent, because every situation I have and scenario is different, but it's reiterating that you have to show your client that you care about what they think and how they're feeling, and be sincere. I don't know how else to put it. You just have to care about who you're helping. You can't just see, like the cartoons where the eyes start rolling, like the cartoon all of a sudden, cha-ching, the dollar signs show up in the eyes. You can't be that way, because people will read it, they'll see it right away. You have to do everything. And then some people will think that already anyway. They're going to tell you right out, like, hey, this is business for me, and that's fine. However, that doesn't mean you still need to be that way with them. They can be that way with you, but you can still hold yourself to a different standard. And maybe that can have them change their approach, or they could still be that way. But at least they'll know not all realtors are just about the dollar sign. Some of them genuinely want to help people and be good at their profession. So again, even when you're feeling some type of way about something in your personal life, or just overall things are not going how you hope they would, when you're working with your client, that's not something you need to project to them. Being angry about something, bringing anger into the conversation, or feeling some type of way because of something that happened with your husband, your girlfriend, your kids, your car, your home. They hired you for a job, and that's not part of a job. You bringing in what's going on in your personal life is not what they hired you for. So keep that in mind when you're working as a professional, or even when you're a mechanic, or you are building computers for people, or you're in the fashion industry, like check that stuff at the door. So, that being said, I will catch you guys in the next one. Take care.